Ah. Okay, so we're going to talk about something that's very near to my heart, which is user interface design and how to make a beautiful UI. And I keep saying beautiful, beautiful, beautiful because, because for me, I get a lot of enjoyment and pleasure from looking at attractive screens and attractive user interfaces, and I get this pit in my stomach and feeling of disgust and nausea when I see an ugly user interface. So for me, it's a big deal, but it's true. But I think it's also a big deal if you want your app to do well, because the truth is that when somebody looks into a store or a magazine article, what they see is a screen. And that's the first impression. And if the thing looks like it's amateurish or badly done, then you're going to think that the game or the app is going to be badly done. So anyway, so let's get into it. So I'm going to first show you a few screens. We're going to be looking at a lot of screens, including the 3 or the 6 comps that you guys did. But real quick, look at these two. And these are maybe a little bit out of date. I'm pretty sure they are. Say what?
That's my on the screen on the left, and I bought it like a month ago.
Okay, cool. I think it has to do with, because I've seen that little interesting, like a zigzaggy thing also. But I think that there's something, well, why do people comment on this screen? Why is it an important screen, and which one is good and bad, and why? Yeah?
I like the left one because based off of what we were reading, I don't really like center alignment, which is what the iPhone screen does.
Mm-hmm.
But on the Android one, you have that left alignment for at least the time, the date, and the status of the battery life,
Yep.
which I really like, especially since the time is the biggest thing.
Yep.
Which really gives that size contrast.
Yep.
And also it's a good, still a pretty good contrast in terms of the white on the blue.
Yep.
I mean, the iPhone also does that well with the white on black, but it gives it a different flavor than normal.
Yeah. Kathy?
I agree. I like the main screen better, but if you look at the top bar, there needs to be some cleaning on the Android one because there's a whole bunch of stuff that could just be under one little icon,
right,
and stuff like that. And then also the grouping is a little off because nicely on the right, we see that all of these have to do with getting on the internet is on the left.
Yeah.
Whether your screens are locked in the middle, and then like what's going on in there, like power and like what's playing and stuff on the right. But here, like all of that stuff's on the right, including the time. So there also needs to be a little bit of grouping. Just
Yeah. And also, I mean, you know, a few little details up there catch your eye. A whole bunch of them sort of becomes noise. Like, what is? I'm not even going to look at this.
As much as I like Android more than the iPhone, I think the iPhone unlock screen is much better. It's got this big battery that just screams "play with me."
Yeah.
It's just very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
The slide to unlock is very smart. The little thing slides to unlock, so it's intuitive. There's nothing screaming at you at the top. It's just clean.
Yeah.
And I like that it's centered. It's just simple and easy.
Anybody else have any other thoughts? I saw some hands, but maybe good. Yeah.
I agree with Gary. I would like to add that the Android screen has so much text and indicators that it's very overwhelming. You know, you can see all those things on the top bar.
Yeah.
And it tells you it's like T-Mobile and all that clutter is contained.
And you really don't. I don't know what this stuff means. I mean, I just don't know.
The top bar is notifications. This means I give a lot of notifications. Like successfully installed, successfully installed, successfully installed, successfully installed.
Whatever happened to like respecting each other's voice and not interrupting each other? But anyway, yes, I was listening to both of you. Yeah, good. Make peace. Yeah, okay, give a hug. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I think this is very unfair. I mean, you pull out an Android screen where you just install 4 different apps. It's connected to the USB, some sort of alert notification.
Yeah.
You compare it with a standalone screen with the iPhone, which doesn't have anything prompting you.
Yeah.
The which one looks more complicated.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Obviously that looks more complicated. That's got a lot more is going on.
Okay, we didn't mean to insult you, sorry. So it's interesting. So both of them are beautiful. I would say they're both from a graphic design, well designed, centered, left, justified. Colors are nice. I have a problem with the battery. I mean, this is not like the most important thing to tell me. I think it's a little bit more useful to have the time. Why is it so big? Now, you said it invites you to play with it.
But you can't do anything with it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, it's interesting. The reason I picked these two is because I was trying to be defensive about my own stupidity. Because last year, when I first turned on an Android for the first time in my life, I looked at this thing for the longest time. I could not figure out how to make it go. I could not. I literally sat there, and I had used an iPhone. I knew how iPhones worked, and I couldn't figure out how to unlock it. Go.
I had the same experience with the emulator.
Yeah.
This happened on the emulator.
Yeah.
I just like
Yeah.
You know, I was moving those things back and forth,
Yeah.
but not enough.
Yeah.
And what is this thing? What does this do?
It turns
Sound,
out
on and on.
On and off. So it's not a pull-out.
There's
No,
no,
yeah.
how, for example, you know, on the iPhone
Yeah.
has a side button to make it like vibrate, so
Yeah,
it
yeah,
sounds
yeah,
same thing.
yeah. So, yeah, so anyway, so that was my experience. Now, a lot of people love this. But for me, one of the biggest things that people touched on but didn't quite hit home is the fact that it says in words, slide to unlock. I mean, that's so important. It's like using the words to explain. Turn the video on. So I can read. Oh, I don't see a little red light on. Yeah. Yeah. UI. See? No good feedback. But I mean, the words are super important. I mean, people go like, oh, you know, don't handhold me, give me nice, pretty pictures, which is true. I mean, these things are pretty, and decorativeness is not a bad word. I mean, making something visually interesting, a little eye candy is okay as long as you don't go crazy. But there's a principle here which I'll get into a little in a couple of minutes called affordance. Any of you take the UI class? You've probably heard about what affordance means. Anybody? Okay, affordance is the concept in user experience, whether on a computer or in real life, that allows you to look at something and know how to operate it. I look at it and I know how to operate it. Okay, so if I go to this door and I'll have examples, I know two things. I know that I have to pull this, and this tells me that it's going to be hard to open. I don't know. Now I look at it, it actually permanently seals shut. But initially, just from a distance, I knew this is a door that's, or maybe not actually. It's preventing me from carding is what it is. But anyway, so this is telling me something about how to operate the door. If you look at these doors, I'll get back to that. What's wrong with this door? The affordance in this door. This thing says pull. This thing says push. Okay. I mean, it's a little confusing. What about this? This is an even better example. What's wrong with this door?
You have
They're handles.
Pay for those things.
I always go and pull those, and then I look like it.
No, because
Do it
there's no
every
way.
time.
Yeah, it says push, but the fact that they had to put the word here means that they just blew it on the affordance, something as common as a door. Pardon?
Doesn't everyone blow open doors?
No, not at all. You actually don't realize that when a door has no handle but it has a plate here, you know that you're supposed to push it? You know it, you just didn't realize it. That plate is what's telling you to push it.
See, I would pull to enter and push to leave. That makes more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes a lot more sense.
I
it's
think-
it's actually fire safety. It's required in all public buildings that you can push the door to get out.
Well, maybe they could do that. Entering.
Not all doors have a, first of all, that I've heard that too, but I've seen many violations of that. And secondly, not everybody knows that rule. So, but I mean, the affordance is an important thing. I was looking at this screen here, which you guys come up later on to look at. And there's a lot of labels on here. It says shut down, main page, volume mute, volume down, volume up. But nothing says on. So how do you turn this thing on, this little panel? Yeah, you press the screen, but how would I know that? I would have no reason to think that pressing the screen would turn it on. So affordance is very important when you look at the thing to know how to operate it. All right, so now let's have a look at, hopefully we will have received, oh God, let me just shrink this back down so I can see what I'm doing. Did you guys send the email? So let's start looking at Vogable. So what we're going to do is we're going to just look through, pardon? We're going to look through these and talk and just react to them. You know, what do you think of it? Based on the readings, based on the visual design things, based on affordance, based on your own experience. By the way, so when I'm not doing this, I'm a graphic design student and I go to courses at the Museum of Fine Arts. And there, when you do something, it's very common to just have a critique and people stand around and they talk very constructively. But don't feel like, you know, yes, it's beautiful, good job, because you want to not step on people's toes. Be open to saying something in a polite way that you have feedback on, because we, the Vogable team, can use that. It's just a critique. It's not personal. It's just trying to be helpful to learn from each other, okay? All right. All right. Take a look at that. Any comments about this design? From any point of view, go for it.
The thumbs are not fashionable as I would like them to
Okay.
be. Very, very masculine thumbs.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's true.
What, the thumbs?
Yeah.
Okay, why? You have to give a reason, like, they look too masculine or something.
I mean, it draws too much attention. They're highlighted in white. I mean, I don't know. It just looks kind of like drawing attention. Should be simple.
Okay.
Thumb up, thumb down.
Okay, yeah.
Not taking into the graphics, like the particular graphics of the layout. I personally prefer text on the bottom, so I'd rather have the image one on top and text on the bottom. Most applications, for example, Pandora, they would have like the music information on top, and then on the bottom they have your light bar or skip next and forward. So I'd rather have something like that.
That's how you hold the device also.
Yeah, it's how you hold when you're holding your device, you're having it like this, and it's a lot more inconvenient to go up here when you go down.
Okay. Do you think it's true? I mean, I haven't noticed that most of the time the controls are at the bottom. Do people, is that true?
I think it's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay. Any other comments? By the way, I didn't say you can't say you like something. I just said don't only say you like something. Go ahead. Yeah.
I love the simplicity of it because it really displays the image. If there's one thing I could change,
Yeah.
the picture kind of looks unfinished on the way that it's like just posted in there. Maybe if there's a small border around the edge that just make it look like it was a frame that it was being represented in.
Okay. All right. When you look at this, do you know what to do? You just look at it. I'm not sure what this is for.
Like it first opened up, and especially with the buttons on the top, the buttons in the bottom, maybe some text in the middle.
Yeah.
I would have a better idea. Like right now, it just opens up. Those buttons don't even look like buttons; they look like images.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at the screen.
Affordance. So that's you're talking about affordance. You have to be able to somehow look at it and realize that it's a button.
Like right now, intuitively, I'd be poking your chest, seeing what happens to the good.
Well, actually, we have a feature.
Anyway.
We have a feature. Actually, it's a secret fire feature. It's going to capture that. And we're going to see all the dots, and then we're going to type your name and tell it to go. For
There's the clutter of two features next to each other. I'm not sure if the thumbs up is the add to wish list or if that's a specific button.
Very good point. Absolutely, yes. Because there's a grouping implication here. These two buttons somehow connect to that word. That actually there's three buttons, and you actually, except for reading it and saying add to wish list.
Yeah, you don't know if that's a button.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't even
yeah.
realize that was a button.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. Did you have?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it also forces you to make a choice.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what if you don't want to do it or not? I mean, it's not clear what to do.
Yeah, I didn't know you could.
Wait, Julia, what did you say? Yeah? Julia said something.
Oh, you would just keep sliding.
And how what's the affordance? How does the user know? I mean, you might say, well, you're used to doing that on the Android, but I think maybe some kind of a hint, maybe the first time you use it or something like that, to say you could slide it with
Yeah,
the
I missed the arrows.
Yeah, I missed the arrows too, that was my comment. I like the first version's arrows. The
Okay,
middle
there's
version-
actually some more. So let me just see the other variations here. So now we have this.
That's what would happen if you actually tapped.
Okay, thoughts, reactions? Yep.
Where
Remember, we're jumping into the middle. We said
I
two of them.
like it, it's simple.
Okay. Yeah.
Does this the menu pop up after the first picture, or is it just there to begin with? It's just
It appears when you touch the screen.
so it's not like I can see the results without.
Yeah. It's just touching the screen that does it. Yeah. Yeah.
I like the design, but I'm turned off by the black and white.
Only black.
But only black and white. I feel like there should be some color,
Okay.
especially with like how the background is really white.
Yeah.
And all the text is white.
Yeah.
And it's like those should be.
We have some minimalists on the
Isn't that
design
gonna make
team.
trouble though if you've got colored,
Backgrounds.
colored backgrounds and colored clothes, that it might be a clash?
Well, right now, it's this that I'm seeing.
Mhm.
So, I mean, of course, there could be.
Yes, Joseph.
Maybe after the user sees the price,
I hope that the vocal team is taking notes.
maybe after the user sees the price, maybe he wants to see again the product to consider it,
Uh-huh.
and now it's blocking.
Yeah.
the-
How do you make that thing go away without going to the next one? Very good. Very good question. Yep, I agree. Let's go to the next
What
one.
would you do?
Yeah, good question.
Or
What would you
if I
touch?
Get it. Where do you do that?
Touch here or touch here?
When you touch on anything that is not a button, like I have it or get it,
Yeah.
it should be able to.
Yeah, because if you touch it here, that originally was what, okay, you could just say toggle. Every time you touch it, it comes and goes.
There's also the back button, don't forget on the bottom, the bar of the
Yep.
So there's a bunch of
That's true.
options that
That's
you
true.
have to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's true. Although there's an interesting question about the correct, I think I know the answer, but it's not totally clear that if something small appears over the screen, that the back button will actually just make that small thing disappear versus make the whole screen disappear. It's kind of in between, so that's something to check out. Yes.
Just a couple of comments. I would, in terms of that back issues going back, I think a very small little X button, I'm not sure if it's top left or top right, very something small, again, in white.
On
Really,
this thing?
top right, on top, very small, so
Yeah,
there's like a little
good.
X. I would agree with that.
You agree with yourself? Excellent.
I actually do like the black and white.
Yeah.
Especially with the transparent black background. I think it really does complement the theme we got on the top where it says add to wish list in white and
Yeah.
the black and white
Yeah.
dynamic that's going on. So it doesn't really interfere with the
Great.
colors of the picture.
Great comments, yeah. Yes.
I think there's a little bit of a grouping problem.
Yeah.
Because if the whole black band was just at the bottom, then you could see all the top of the image in one go and just see the black band rather than see image, black band, image.
Mhm.
I think it should all be collected and the black band should be on the side.
Okay, yeah, last one.
Originally, I didn't like the black background, but then I realized it'd be on this screen.
Yeah.
There, the black would kind of go off into the sides of the device. So I just think it's because there's white in the background on this page.
I think, but we are looking at images, a lot of them have a light background. I mean,
I think
typically.
it's not that bad to be on this device.
Okay, let's look at the next one. So this is
It's a different option.
it's a different option. So here, the grouping problem is kind of solved in the sense of the add to wish list at the bottom, but now we have the I have it thing, which is a button, which
I
is,
still don't think up or down means yes, I have it or no, I don't.
yes, very good point. I actually had to study these images to wonder why the fingers were here and not there, and I thought it was a bug, but then I realized that you're doing this. Very subtle. Yes.
I'd make a case to have the I have and add to wishes on the bottom and have, maybe I have on the left and add wish list to the right, and then on the top somehow communicate to the person that the thumbs mean like or dislike.
Right. Right. Okay, let's move on to the next one, the last one, which is this one. This is the portrait mode. Reactions of any kind, or we basically?
I like it more.
I like that.
What, can you say why you like it more? Is there anything you can point to, or any thought?
Especially coming from the last picture, the grouping thing, again, like the button on the top, button on the bottom, picture in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm kinda happy that I got done the pictures on the side.
Yeah.
Also, like, nothing's popping over the picture, I can always be looking at the picture and
Yeah.
making my decision at the same time.
Yeah.
Buttons seem more easier to access than at the top. I don't like buttons at the top, but if you're holding in portrait, I think it's more easy. Also, it's smart that they're on the right, because generally when you hold, most people are righties.
Yeah.
If you're holding in portrait mode,
Yeah.
you can easily reach with your right hand.
Yeah, good. Any other thoughts?
I think it looks very professional, it's trying to look nice. I can imagine, going through and
Would you still be confused about what things are buttons and what things are not?
It's the same header problem with
Yeah,
the
same header problem.
Yeah, it's affordances. It's like there's no way to tell the difference between this and this. This is a button. This isn't. The affordances have to be worked on. This is the first one. I mean, everybody will be iterating on this. And the idea here is that, and I'll mention with the other ones, is that it's obviously a lot less work to do this, even though somebody spent all night learning Photoshop or something. But it's than writing the code. And so we can make changes in this for a fraction of the time and effort that it would take to make changes in the code. Yes.
Just to point out the importance of the padding on the borders for like all of these pictures, if it's not there.
This, you mean?
Yeah, and on the picture on the left.
Uh-huh.
I think it makes it look like it actually has a border.
This. This you mean?
Unlike a lot of the portrait view.
Well, the interesting thing also, I'm not sure what you mean that this blurry area here?
The black around
Yeah.
picture.
It's interesting that, yes, I agree. And can you say why that is visually? I have an idea. Actually, and you can see that this one has it better than this one.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it?
Show it again? Because this is,
Visually, it's a pure visual thing.
I think it's because it aligns with the thumbs at
Yeah.
the top of the screen.
yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's because it's much thinner. And so visually it becomes part of this image. And when it's wider, oops, now suddenly it's no longer part of the image. The image is sitting on another surface.
Also, they're not even.
And they're not even. Yeah, exactly. That's the other reason. Yep. Okay, let's do the next.
Have one more.
Yeah, sure.
In horizontal view, I still
Right.
So.
Hey.
I think why didn't we still there? The problem then would be how do you make sure they're in line?
Right.
Horizontally view especially, don't think to flip through.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think to flip. That's a good point because the whole screen. Well, interesting. How would you animate this flipping? By the way, would you just flip the picture, or would you flip this whole thing?
I flip the screen.
I flip the screen.
So you swipe and the whole thing goes.
The text is also changing.
Yeah, it is. Would you have a sound effect?
No.
Maybe you flip
How about
it
this?
down.
Maybe you flip the girl.
That might be there, but definitely no like swooping sound effect.
Yeah,
or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I love the idea of collecting what people click. That would be a good social experiment. I love it. But you know what's going to happen. Despite everybody's best wishes, you know exactly what's going to happen, unfortunately. So it's not even a question. I was at a company once where the E-Room, and we had let's say 5 executives, all men, 1 woman. And then we looked at the website stats, and predictably on the About Us, the woman's picture was the only one that was always getting enlarged. So, you know, no matter how good we are, people still act like the bad people we all are. Okay, so let's go to the email GUI pictures. There's one.
Peter, could you check if you got my email, please?
I will. I'm sure I did. It's probably that you, for some reason, did not end up in the high priority inbox. I'm very sorry. No, I didn't get it. It's not here yet. You know, I don't control it. It's Google's fault. Okay, so don't blame me. Oh, okay. Who here uses Google Mail, by the way, Gmail? And do you guys have it set in priority inbox mode?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I never said it.
Okay, debate. Let's hear what the pros and the cons. Because the reason it's relevant. It's totally a UI question. Like, what did they do right or wrong, and that makes you want to use it and you not?
One thing I like about priority inbox is that it's not just like priority and not priority. You can add 2 more sections to it.
Yeah.
The way I have it is my priority.
Mm-hmm.
I have all self.
Mm-hmm.
I have RT updates, which is like LCS related, and I have everything else.
Uh-huh.
And it's really helpful for me because that means I can separate work,
Mm-hmm.
like help desk work. I can separate self memos or self emails or self reminders.
Yeah.
I can self prioritize,
Yeah.
or I have certain filters where it's like if like this subject from this person automatically always prioritize.
Yeah.
And I have certain emails, like maybe it's from like I don't know, like.
Do you have a lot of filters?
I
Are you
have.
a filter happy guy?
I have
Yeah.
about 25 30
Yeah.
filters.
Okay. One statement from the cons.
I actually don't like it because a lot of my emails get lost in that.
Oh.
What I've been doing instead is multiple inboxes, and I have one for just.
Oh, you have multiple inboxes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have one for
interesting.
everything, and I have WBRS on one thing, and then Brandbase on another, and then I think I'm gonna add one more just onto my personal email address, and it's easier because then I can see like what's going to what, and I know WBRS will always have a lot of junk, so I know I can like skip through that.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of filters, or you?
Yeah, I have a lot of filters.
I don't even know how multiple inboxes work exactly.
It's a lab,
Yeah.
It's a labby thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
and you can like set it so that you get like certain tags go to like certain.
I see.
Like in filters go to certain.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. Here we go. Let's start looking. So again, look at these things. Think about affordances. Thinking about whether you know what you're supposed to do. Think about visual. Do you like the way it looks? Do you don't? What do you think could be improved?
Can I say something too? Just on the design?
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure what to do for the background, so I have a whole bunch of different backgrounds. I just left it
This?
black.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any recommendations on what they think for the background,
Mhm.
that would help a lot too.
Okay. All right. Yes. Michael.
Background's fine, looks good, but the bottom 3 buttons are not aligned properly, like the space between them. It's a little bit closer on the right and a little bit higher, and it's just not the same kind of oval shape.
Well, to be very honest, that's gonna go on layout and not really, that's programming stuff. I mean, if they're not.
The ovals are all identical because I copied and pasted
They're pretty.
each of the layers. in
Just one of them
Photoshop.
looks like.
This one looks different?
Is it a center one side is
Oh, you mean the spacing here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see that. Yeah.
Maybe the text inside,
Yeah.
it makes it look closer.
Yeah, I think the text is a little bit cramped in those ovals too. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
I feel like if this is screen for you're saying if you're happy with side, it shouldn't have that's all there's more, or even to dashboard. I think it should just be unhappy upset options, and then once you press something, then those bubbles can pop up.
I agree.
Yeah. And the other question I have is I have the word happy here, I have the word happy here. Is this a button? Is this the button? Is this the button? I'm a little confused. Yeah, go ahead. Next one. Bjorn?
The icon on the down there, the frowny face looks like it goes through the chin, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a scar or something.
It's a mustache.
Yeah. From this distance.
Okay, let's go to the next one. See what-
Actually, one more thing.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I think for the, if you could just get one word in each of those three buttons in the bottom, I think it'd be better.
Yeah. Okay.
Done, or
Yeah.
dash.
Maybe like exit, more, and dash.
Exit, more, and dash. Yeah.
Info.
Or maybe just exit more, and then more.
Or even,
More takes you to the place where there's dash options. I don't know.
yeah, and also there's a matter of the sort of the brightness of all the colors. They're all kind of, if you thought of this in black and white, they would all more or less be a similar shade of gray. And so that's another reason why they're all calling my attention simultaneously. So I'm having, I would look at that maybe. But this is a good one also for.
Sorry, can you expand on that comment? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, so the idea of trying to imagine the brightness or, you know, of the value of the color, the way I do it is I think of it if I took a black and white picture of this.
Okay.
What shade of gray would it be? And they're all kind of, I think they would all be, this is a little darker than this, but these are bright, that's bright. And I'm not getting that these are really buttons. I mean, I'm still honestly confused. Is this the button? Is this the button? Is this the button? These are the biggest. They're the most important, but they could also be showing me my status. Like, am I happy?
Right.
You know, whatever. So something to think about. All right, next one. Okay, so how do you get, just tell us how we got to the screen. On the hidden, there's more buttons.
Yeah, there's more.
Okay.
Can I make one comment on the dashboard too?
Yeah.
The one on the right. I just did that gray because I didn't know what the best color would be for that. So if anyone has any
Yeah.
recommendations on the colors.
Yeah, an interesting point of process is that often when people do comps for clients, they will do it in black and white initially to basically avoid having to get into a debate with the client about the color. And you can have a lot of discussion about the content, and then later on, you get somebody who knows colors to pick the colors. That's done often.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused about what the comment is versus like when you click on happy on the side, and also what Inchme does and what that empty box on the right is.
Yeah.
Let me explain that. So
No, hang on. Yeah, hang on. Let other people see if anybody else who didn't design it can answer it. Yeah.
Okay, first one comment on the screen above with the happy and sad.
Yeah.
Is like, instead of saying that, okay, these are buttons, I was thinking if they allow, you know, like the ads for, like, get all the inputs now, like, they would just like go up and down. So if you animated them in such a way that it might look like buttons.
Yep.
I didn't follow that. Say it again.
If you just animate them so that they're going up and down.
Which buttons?
Just the happy and the sad
Uh-huh.
faces. And I think that would
You mean like
show that if-
up and down, like moving like this?
yeah, if they're moving, then I think
They're shaking around a little bit like.
Or jumping, like
Yeah.
getting
Like sad could do like frown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, you can make
then
Hey, where's my mouse?
When you can mix it, it's like appear,
The eyes go.
two eyes and then the mouth, and the mouth.
Of course, you know when they shake, at least on the iPhone, when,
Yeah.
when the icons shake, it means you're gonna delete them or remove them and move them. So there might be, I don't know about the Android, the same kind of.
I think once you get that across, then people will realize, oh, pinch me, and then they'll understand what to do.
I think pinch me is kind of. I mean, to me, it's kind of clear. I would immediately go and see what happens. Now,
Yeah.
and hopefully, so what would happen if I did that?
Then the happy face would get smaller.
But I'm not clear what the effect. I would go, okay, it got smaller. So what happened? So is the user saying I'm a little bit happy?
Maybe like happy meter at the top or something like.
Yeah, I think another fundamental thing is that I would like to be reminded that I got here as a happy person versus as a sad person? In other words, what did I choose before?
Well, that's what.
So pinch me face is gonna be happy or sad depending on what.
Yeah, but right, but I'm gonna have to, yes.
Yeah, so for instance, the comment, you could just say, why are you happy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Boom.
Right. Or why are you sad?
Right.
You look at it and you know.
Yeah.
Um,
And also, there's more is kind of a strange header for this, because I got here by saying there's more, so where I got to is actually more. I mean, I wouldn't call it that, but the title again throws me off a little bit. Yeah.
I would put comments on the bottom to dashboard and share where comments is, because maybe it's because I'm used to like accessing like text and stuff on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm used to having comments be on the bottom.
Can I argue against that?
Yeah.
We put the comment box on the top for the reason that when you hit the comment, it brings the keyboard up from the bottom.
Yeah.
And as soon as the comment box is on the bottom, then you have to worry about it reorganizing the entire
Easy
screen.
for you guys.
Yeah.
Alright, so you get here by clicking there's more, right? Then how does it know if you're happy or sad? Because isn't,
Very
this should
good
be,
point.
and like, what are you commenting on? This should probably be
I feel like that should come up
when you click the
So when you
happy
click
face or
that,
the
just
sad face.
Go directly there.
Yeah, because I don't think you need the there's more button, because you're choosing and then you come to here.
The thing with there's more is like when you choose whether you're happy or sad, that's when you can actually hit there's more. If you don't choose the happy or sad, you can't go to there's more.
No, I like
Exactly, which is why you can just take out there's more, just click happy and go straight to here, or click sad.
No, the reason why it doesn't work like that is because sometimes you don't want to get any more information.
Then
Then you can press the
then
done.
you can just, yeah.
Or if you just,
Yeah,
or
more
if you
in
just hit exit, if there was an exit
Yeah.
on there versus to dashboard.
This was actually a matter of a lot of debate on the team, I seem to remember, right?
It already
Yeah.
dialed a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, I thought we agreed on something different. I don't know if that was what we agreed on, what we had right now.
Yeah. I think that instead of there's more, maybe why
Yeah.
would be a better name.
Yeah.
So a little button that says why.
Yeah.
You say why.
I mean, I think overall, I like this hard graphic look of this, black and white. It looks, I like it overall. Now, we're still mystified by this box. So what would we do if we were mystified? I would do this. What would happen if I did that?
It would say upload a picture or snap a picture.
Maybe put a ghost of a camera here or something.
Yeah.
I really want to slide the happy face into that box.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
And it's with the arrow down there, that's,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that the entire time. I was like, oh, so you pinch it, and then you get a size, and then you slide it into the box.
Yeah, interesting, very
So what
interesting.
actually happens when you pinch it? I'm confused.
Gets bigger and smaller.
And then what, like what, that's it?
It
How happy
measures
you
how
are.
happy or how happy or sad you are.
I
If you're
would
like
have-
super happy, you make it really big.
I would have no idea that that's what pinch
Right.
means.
So
I would
what's
think
the
that,
default size?
It's like, you know,
So can I do
Can
No,
this?
It was just a little about the smallness. That's what we tried to make it bigger.
I think Julia's right. I mean, the button, it looks like, okay, so I did something, a button does something to something else. And so somehow,
But
and
it's
especially
worded
the
for
words
because
pinch
the
me, like,
initial size is a bias for any statistics you want to get on how biased are you, how happy or how sad are you.
Yeah.
On how biased.
For the box.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be like picture, then it should probably have some element of a picture frame, like a little design
That's-
or something.
yeah.
That indicates
Thought,
that you
yeah.
automatically see.
Yeah, good idea.
Picture frame.
I have two ideas to kind of go with the questions I've had.
Yeah.
To help you guys. One, I like that, but also can you put like maybe a camera button in there so you know that like you press this and you go to your camera options.
There's a standard looking
Yeah.
camera button for the Android. Yeah.
And then the second thing is maybe before that pinch me thing comes up, maybe it's kind of grayed out and it says click here to or something like
how happy are you?
How happy are you? And then it pinch me.
Mhm.
And
Oh, I like
like
that.
you click that and so it comes out like that a little bit. It darkens, not darkens, it lightens.
When you
And-
touch, right?
Yeah. And then that will measure it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, then.
I hope the happy sad guys are taking notes.
Yeah, he is. I've been looking.
Hey.
Oh, you've been looking?
I took my notes in my head. I'm kind of.
Oh, you took your notes in your head. I heard that story before, yeah.
So I also don't really like the two dashboard arrow. First of all, it's cut off, and I don't think dashboard, and it's really big. So it's, I don't know, I don't think I really like the fact that it's the same size as all the other icons.
You also have three different ideas for how buttons should look in this app. You have white shape with text, you have white frame with word and icon, and you have the other ones which are ovals with text. So I think within your app you should try to be a little consistent.
Yeah, like one common theme of some sort.
Yeah. I mean, all rules are made to be broken, right? It's not an absolute, but unless you have a good reason to, you should make it be the same.
But just the fact that it's so big, I feel like to me it looks kind of clustered, that there's so many things that look like they're all equally important.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit much.
Okay, and now let's talk about this. So you can hit the two dashboard. I assume sorry, was there another one? I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I just wanted some feedback, like, for the main, can we go back to the first main page?
Yeah.
Do you guys think this is simple, you guys think it's clustered, just a straightforward answer?
Simple or cluttered?
Simple or cluttered?
The navigation bar there, that's all there's more. Dashboard is a bit much.
So that's cluttered?
I would take away the that's more, just so that's what comes up when you hit the I'm happy, I'm sad, and then just have two buttons, I guess.
I'm still confused where to click, whether I should click on.
Just is it simple or cluttered, that's all I'm asking.
I think it's not cluttered, but it's confusing.
Can I ask one question too?
And I think by the way, it's not cluttered in a good way. I mean, I like no, seriously, I like the hard graphic look, black and white. It works for me. But then I look at it and go scratch my head, and that's not, you don't want that.
Can I ask one question too? As for the faces, I know we put the happy face on the left because it's happy, sad, and that's the way it's divided.
Mhm.
But I know when I had it originally lined up, I put the happy face on the right and the sad face on the left,
Mhm.
and I had them swapped because most people are right-handed. When you go to get a device, like it's in your right hand, so it's easier to click the right face. 'Cause
Mhm.
most of the time, I'm assuming you're going to be happy. So,
But you read
intuitively,
from left to
it
right.
feels like it should just be on the right. But I don't know what you guys.
I think, well, I'm sorry.
I have a slightly different comment. This has been sort of in a fundamental debate in terms of like, should this be the screen you're always presented when you first open the app, or should it go to the dashboard? So if you click on update, then it will bring you to the screen. Then you can make those changes where it goes like more like so you can click on. Because the problem with it is that this is the beginning screen every single time you open the app.
Yeah.
Some people might not want to update their status. They might just want to go straight to their dashboard. Or like sometimes they don't want to add more.
Yeah.
So it's one of the, like a big debate that we're having whether or not
Yeah.
this should be the opening screen every single time or just for the first time.
Yeah, but before we talk about that, let's just answer this question. I mean, if anybody else has a comment, my thought is this is logical. For whatever reason, it's logical. And if you do it the other way around, people are going to go like, why?
Okay.
I can't explain why, but this is logical. Yeah.
Well, I would appreciate feedback. My personal suggestion, like I recommended this idea, and the reason behind that was the app's happy, sad, so I'm happy and sad in that
Yeah.
particular order.
Yeah, and that's why.
We're gonna keep it happy sad.
Sorry, say that again.
Your thumb connects on that far, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I'm also on the lefty, so I would like a more lefty.
Okay.
You're a happy lefty. If you were a sad lefty, you wouldn't
Exactly.
like this.
Saying happy sad instead of sad happy. And that goes in the order of happy sad or the smiley faces as well.
But you even think if the app was called Sad Happy, that would be strange.
Yeah.
So there's something low-level brain function that says it should be in that order. Yes?
I'm thinking you could move I'm happy and I'm sad underneath the smile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And closer
That
to it.
way,
Yeah.
you wouldn't see happy, happy, sad, sad. Like,
Right. And I think if it was closer to it and below, and maybe even not,
Smaller.
a little smaller,
Maybe
right
a-
below it.
Maybe a different color even.
Yeah, a little maybe a gray version of the color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you even need it?
I don't think you need the title necessarily.
Well, that's gonna be like our logo.
Yeah, I like the title, I don't think you need.
So if the logo is going to be a visual, not necessarily the word, so it may be okay.
Right.
I think it's better to have it just because, to me, especially if it was right below, that would kind of hint to me that I'm supposed to click on it and then it's not just two pictures that
Right.
are there.
Yeah, it's going to help you know that.
That it's talking about.
Yeah. And by the way, whatever visual language you guys come up with to make these things look consistent and like buttons, see if you can somehow have an echo of it in the way these things look. You don't want to make them black and white, but there may be a way to say, oh, I
Put a
see.
border on it or something.
Whatever thing you can do is echo the graphic language of these things in this thing, and that'll help you know it's a button too.
What do you guys think of moving the happy sad logo up, getting rid of the I'm happy, I'm sad text, and then putting something there instead that says, how are you feeling?
You know what I like about that? It doesn't feed you the words happy and sad, which may not be the words that reflect the way you're feeling. It's a little bit more, you could project onto it however you're feeling. I like that. Yes?
There's always something kind of off topic. Well, I guess it's not off topic, but off this general topic.
Yeah.
Just something to think about. I'm a little bit bored by the faces, facial expressions. And I feel like it would be nice to see something a little bit more engaging.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that actually. This
like
is
you were talking about if they jump around slightly.
Yeah.
To get your attention, just like
that too.
all
No, but
jumping,
maybe.
and you put like tiny hands and feet or something like that.
Yeah. But I mean, you could imagine somebody who's a really good artist coming up with something much more interesting. Whatever graphic style they want. This is clip art. No offense. I mean, I would do the same thing, but this is clip art style. Get somebody who's an artist to do something interesting, and that alone will be interesting.
What if like to get your attention, like the sad face kind of every now and then will have a tear stream down, or like the happy face will have the tongue stick out or a wink or something.
Yeah,
like that.
that'll be surprise, and it'll be funny.
Yeah.
And you can have different things happen. And if you
It
have it
can be
long
like
enough, you get different.
And it can be like the cool logo where each day is something different.
Yeah.
Or special
Yeah.
days is something different.
Yeah. But this is one where you really, I think it's worth finding whoever in your group or somebody you know who's a good artist to come up with something different. Although, this has the advantage everybody knows them. But I mean, there's variations on this which could be like grunge look or modern or modernist or, Greek or whatever. That could be amusing too, yes.
Well, another possibility would be to have a slider that, looks like a slider, and you slide it one face in the middle, goes from very happy to very sad.
So let's go to this, lastly.
Can I answer Tom's question?
Yes.
That we kind of brushed off. I like the other page as the main page because that kind of looks I don't want to. It's a little cluttered and like not a main page that I would want to see when I open something up. I
Is
want
that
something simple, and then I want to be kind of slowly brought into the product.
I agree. No, yeah, I agree, but like you guys are suggesting to remove the buttons altogether, and then how do you combat the people that don't want to update their status at that time?
I think we need to keep you guys need to keep the dashboard button there, but the other two buttons you don't need because that tags we can back
You
out.
haven't got an interesting screen anyway that gets you to what you want. So
And you could also make them much less prominent if you wanted to. You could just have it be kind of gray for a little bit more advanced user, maybe just say more done and dashboard or something. Make them much less prominent.
Or just more in dashboard, more in done.
Yeah.
Because the dashboard dash on that or something.
Yeah, the dashboard you can get to from the more. So,
More in done.
just more and done and make them a little bit less prominent. Yeah.
The problem is that you can update your status if you click on something. We're saying that for people that don't want to update their status,
They hit
just want
done.
to look at
Then I
dashboard.
just hit, there's a done
Or
thing
more.
on that's
You would just hit more. You just
Actually, more should go to the dashboard.
Yeah, exactly.
More goes to the dashboard. To get to the there's more page, it should be wide.
Then what if you just want to click I'm happy and then exit?
I don't know. Let's move on.
And then there's more you can exit, but it's kind of crazy to
No, but you actually want them to cue them to try to write something.
Yeah.
They go to that page and they just say done, have a done button there at the top.
Yeah, because I think it's like if nobody prompted me, I would never write a comment. But if it's never like, oh, I might as well.
So this is good fodder for a usability test, which I'll show you in the 3 hours from now if I go at the speed. But that's exactly what the usability test with the cards is good for. Okay, let's talk about this. So here's the dashboard. Without commenting from the team, what do you hit the dashboard button and you go, what does this tell you? Jackie.
I want to click randomly. But I
So
also,
let's do a usability test. Tell me where to click.
I want to click that 7 because I have no idea what that is.
Okay, team, what does this do when I click this?
You have updated your status 7 consecutive days.
A message comes up?
It's going to bring you to that page.
Oh, a page that says that. Okay, all right.
Cool.
Is that satisfactory?
Not really.
Okay. Other questions? What would you, well, you had no expectation, I
I
assume.
had no expectation, but that's
Yeah.
kind of no offense.
Well, I pressed the global
The number
key
right
up there.
there?
Okay,
It's just like,
Oh, that's all it
It
does?
looks
That's
really
all it does.
It's like the big thing that says 7, like, oh yeah.
And it's a different font, and it's really big. All that is saying it's like a prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want 7 donuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are the other things also buttons?
Are these
Those are gonna be buttons, I just didn't, because we
Okay.
don't have pages for those yet, I just didn't put them in.
okay? And what can you describe what they would look like approximately? Just
The first one is gonna be like a guide, it's gonna be Find Me Happiness.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have, the history button,
Mhm.
which is gonna be history. And then we're gonna have an update, where we update your status again.
Mhm.
And then there's gonna be another one that would be there that would bring you back to the original dashboard.
So think about the fact that these buttons are visually very related, and if they do totally different things, it's going to be confusing. Your expectation of if one takes, is going to be set by that. And you also think about these, whatever icon or whatever you put in here, that they have a language that's consistent with each other. How about the overall graphic layout of this screen? What do you guys think? Yes.
I was gonna bring this point up earlier,
Yeah.
the other one.
Yeah.
I think for your buttons, you can do things where you have a side tab that comes out when you finger over to the left part, it just comes out.
So this thing kind of like slides in and out?
Yeah, that way you can focus in on the map.
And then you have a little widget that says touch me.
Yeah, a little tiny button.
Yeah.
You just touch it and the whole thing will
Yeah,
come out.
yeah.
So
I like it.
It's like shelving stuff.
That's an assumption, and I don't know the answer to this, that the map is the most important thing on the screen. Is that true? Is the map the most important thing on the
Pretty
screen?
much, yeah, 'cause that's where you're looking at all your data.
Another thing about the map is it's eye candy.
It's eye candy. Okay, fair enough. But is it most important? I mean, in other words, I assume this is where there's a lot of happy people. What's this? I have no idea what this is saying.
It was where I was at the time.
Okay.
Right.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. So what would be on that map?
If you would think about it, you see where it says the smiley face is a comment?
Yeah.
If that was a happy person there,
Yeah.
and it was selected, that would be the smiley face in the comment that the person wrote.
Okay.
So that's where you are? Like that?
Well, the
that's
idea is
just
to have the map.
But that was just because
populated
that's the
on-
screenshot he had handy. That's all.
The idea is to have the map populated with a lot of flags, and those flags are individual people or whatever.
Oh, you can click that.
If you're in personal, that's you
Right.
and your own, like, with respect to time. If it's global, that's all individual people at the current span of time.
You'd like a list view though as well of all the flags in the area.
We have
Because
something
they
like that
often
in there,
have
not
people-
exactly. We have something like that in there.
So yeah, if there's more, if there's like, 10,000 flags,
Yeah.
then you want a heat map or something.
That'd probably group
Well,
it
that would be,
together.
you'd be able to zoom out, because they're gonna be
Yeah.
blue and yellow, the different pins. You're gonna be able to see where it is, where people are happiest and sad.
I think on this screen, it feels to me like you haven't decided whether the map is the most important thing. It's too small to be the most important thing and too big to be not. So in my mind, if it's the most important thing, then this needs to be a little bit smaller, this needs to be a little smaller, and this needs to be a little smaller.
I like
Can you
that.
actually change the pins?
Technically,
Yeah, on the Google map.
it's a coming lecture.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know the answer. I bet you can change them into different colored
You can
pins.
put another layer on top of that.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Okay, great stuff. Let's go to the third one. It's actually 11. Shall we take a quick break?
Can I just say a quick
Yeah,
comment?
yeah,
I don't
sorry.
think I really like the gray color. You should not use that color.
Stick with the black.
That's why I said,
Wow,
I
you
used
said
it red.
You like even if you just make it black.
Yeah.
That would be better.
Yeah.
I just did
not-
it because I didn't know what color to do.
Okay.
Okay, so a quick break and come back and we'll do the last set of victims. Thank you.
Okay, you want to talk tonight?
Please, you guys.
Do you wanna restate it? No.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I'll just read.
That's all they got.
And I like the idea of connecting the indicator work with the lecture.
Yeah.
But in a real way, where you actually talk about lecture topics, and those are the examples that you
That's great. Yeah.
Jeremy,
Is it- you said it's three series? And it's 3 episodes.
Hello.
Are they all together?
So are you using the engine?
I'm doing it straight with, and and making
Playing what?
trying to think about making a good example, so having like a enumeration of states. Really separate the control path, you model path,
So how do
totally
you
separate.
So what if your Android
I've got the activity, which has the main view.
using validation?
I'm using a surface. There's this thing called a surface, which is built for this, and then there's a thread. And when you create it, you actually start a thread which just continually says update, draw, update, draw, update, draw.
So
That's all it
and a
does.
surface then you stick that as a view.
Yes, it's, it's a view, but you can have it as a view.
And it basically, doesn't refresh.
It just
You
constantly
give it an on draw as well.
Well, so, yes, so we have an on-draw method for one of the surfaces, you have a listener, create a listener. He has already used the surface listener, which has on-draw, surface created, surface destroyed. And then you have a model, and it just separates out really nicely.
And that's a surface.
So, no, so the activity is the view, the way I was thinking, the activity is the view, and it has the on-touch or whatever methods, and those are just sending information to the control. So in other words, it looks at what state I'm in, and
So surface is surface.
it's not like a draw, it's a special open field draw.
So it doesn't do any interaction, purely a
This
method.
is.
Yeah, it's a really nice thing, so we'll do it on, when they finish PA3, I'll bring that up. I'll try to also make interfaces with the PA3 model stuff, so they can just have theirs implemented, model included. And also have it as two projects. So there's the PA3 model and another project which links it
By
in.
the way, that's the way you do testing, I discovered also,
Yeah.
by the way. If you
Android
want to
provides
test your
full
model,
SQL
not
writing,
in
just Java.
Mhm.
Any class
You
of
run into trouble
application, but not outside.
running it
That's
as just
actually
Java.
right,
So what
it's
you end
far
up
more
doing
important,
is,
because we need.
you have two
we need
two
something
projects.
that any
One
class
has your
can
test code
access.
in it, and it pulls the model out of the Android project and uses that, because the problem is the model is .java in the Android project.
Yeah.
Composites with Jarvis or whatever Jarvis.
Yeah.
And everything gets fucked up.
Yep.
So what you do is you put it on, and that's how you do testing.
Okay.
Same scheme.
Yeah.
Which I discovered by a lot of partying myself.
Yeah.
Why is it not running? It's just blowing up. And that's why.
I need to get a cup of coffee.
So you create the database within the application and store it somewhere. That's what I want to know. Like when you create the database, like within the
Here we go.
application, like, I don't understand that.
I was gonna read the chapter.
Yeah, it says like, you create a SQL database, by making this class. You override the onCreate by saying, classes. Now, this makes the database, whatever. And then there are built-in methods that you can write to the database, read the database, which is the two most important things right now.
So, anybody print out your design briefs for us to hand out to the rest of us? Yay! Who else?
Like, come at you.
Did Happy Dad print out your
I
design
didn't think we're gonna be doing this until after lunch, so I was planning to do it during lunch. because
Okay,
I
that's
have
fine.
to go back to home.
That's fine, okay. And how about, the other team? Design briefs?
Oh, Jeremy, I don't know if Jeremy did or not.
Say what?
I'm not sure if he did.
Okay,
Jeremy will know.
it's part of the homework handed. So, you didn't find a statement?
I found a stapler, I didn't find a stapler.
Over lunch, you got, that's good, very precise. Did you try the office? They probably did.
Oh, well. Okay, yeah.
You can do it over lunch, I mean, if you don't want to run over.
Right, are we?
Yeah, we have a few minutes, for sure, we have time.
Yeah, that's like,
Words.
No, it's fine.
No, no, they have. Me van a hacer algo o sea.
Yo, he's the artist.
I know. Cool, huh?
I can't do any of that shadowing stuff.
I'll make this go away.
Giraffe. He's like, I'm free, I can explore.
I know. That's cool.
It looks like a baby giraffe. How can that baby giraffe be so like extend his neck so thing like a full on adult like angry giraffe?
No, that giraffe's awesome.
Oh, giraffe.
Hello. Where are you? No. Damn.
Nice. Hey,
Start by saying
everyone.
what we're doing currently.
Yeah, that's.
Bam.
Aha. Found it. Okay. So we have two groups that have said that they have their design briefs on paper. What about the third group? Are you guys going incognito? Is that the deal?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm just printing it out, so how many copies should I print out?
17.
Oh,
It's fine, 50. Tim and I will share.
I mean, we figured, like, yeah, I figured we don't need to look at it.
You don't need to look at your own. That's a good point. Yes, it's more for the people not on your team. So 15 is fine. Totally right.
It's an automatic for you.
What?
This is automatic for you.
Okay, wise guy. Do this. Do this. Okay, now this. Now move the finger right point. That one. Quick. Don't take so long. This one. That one. Quick. This one. This one. Yeah, that's pretty good at it. Very good. Excellent. It's brain is wired funny. You want to try? You understand?
I'm really bad at it.
Alright, I'll try. I'm not gonna do it.
Huh?
Let's see the fail.
Move that one.
Wait, move which one?
Oh, yeah, wait, I didn't get it. This one.
Thumb or finger?
Stalling, man. Move right away, right away. Don't stop.
Alright, fine. Can you do this?
What? No. Can you do this? Do this. Huh?
Do this.
Why did I go like this?
You're hurting yourself.
I know, yeah.
I still have to get on that 100 push-up thing.
Where are you? What number are you at?
40, 50, 60. I've been in all of them.
What?
Are you doing the 100 push-ups?
I haven't started, but I can do like at max for burnout, I can do 60.
60
No,
straight?
60,
Yeah.
60 good ones.
All the
or
way down?
60
No,
get
60,
to like.
yeah, definitely no special.
Touching your chest
Barely getting
and
I just think
double
I'm
clapping on the top?
No.
When I do 100, I don't touch my nose or my chest.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I get to the, this close. This close.
We need to get to the 90 degrees.
You gotta make sure that lumbar spine is straight.
Yeah, I think that's what I do right now.
I can do
Maybe do 10.
As I say, it's not a competition.
That's fine.
Excellent.
Maybe 15 copies of it.
Oh, yeah.
Should I just?
50 is fine.
No.
Maybe, yeah, but there's people.
There's you're good drawing, so.
There's a urban legend.
You guys like really need to
that
add.
now whole blanket. So that they don't touch.
Yeah, you pronounce of all the.
So I always make a mistake and then I'll whole blanket, and then I'll whole blanket.
Yeah,
Some mistake somewhere.
whose muscle is that? Is that yours? Did you get, I was telling Chris that I told you that there was 500 calories and you kept talking about it. Did that guilt you out without saving yesterday?
No, no, no,
He didn't
no.
have any lunch, you know.
No,
he went
I was
running.
full. It was,
Yeah.
you know, it's not, I would have to be, forced feeding myself to a little bit.
That's my life.
There's just two.
I don't wanna do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You don't need one of
Thanks
ours.
a lot.
No, I need it. I like the picture.
This afternoon.
I think we had a little networking.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
That's it, networking project.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
So people do wanna, they wanna know how to go about getting this or not, so I think that's part of the story.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, yeah, well, I mean, it'll prepare for the next,
Yeah.
few months.
It's a beautiful day.
I also,
Giraffes or something.
I'm not sure, so there's like a job online, and there's like a team, and I'm sending them my resume, I'm not like sure what I'm supposed to write. I didn't know if there was some specific thing I was supposed to be doing, and what I was writing.
Remind me to, I'll pick it up in the next one. We'll give it a
Okay.
The short legs was quick.
Yeah, maybe we want people to send emails to us or share.
It's the story of my life.
In fact, you should see
How I
that.
got
Yeah, we should ask them to go. Do they know
You're famous.
And it's so.
Well, somebody asked about whether.
Little do they know, however, that
Yeah.
Jeremy short legs had immense.
Stefan's the guy on Saturday.
Jumped high into
What's
the
that?
air.
Stefan is the
One
guy on
night,
Saturday.
Oh,
Jeremy
yeah.
ran to the gate and.
There's this great club.
That's so
Most
funny.
adorable story
Anyway.
You know
ever.
what the club is. Okay.
Good. So we're going, they have sheep.
I wanna
And they
know.
serve vomit and bad. That's great.
As soon as we see.
Everybody's got to go there. Okay, woo! All right, here we got the artist. First of all, who's the artist? Eh?
Well, I did one up top.
You guys have two artists? That's not fair.
It's not there.
That's not
They
fair.
have a lot of art.
Yeah. Okay, so y'all, take a look at these. It's perfectly fine to have them in sketch form. Just imagine them in color and on a screen. Well, I assume this is what you see when you launch the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we think when we see this? What does it tell you? What's good about it? What's not so good about it? Anybody? Yes.
There's actually a lot of things I do like about it.
Yep.
For example, you see the city in the background. So
Yep.
you know, like, oh, it's in a city setting, you see trees, so you're thinking it's like a park-like setting.
Yep.
You see a zookeeper with a net, and you see a giraffe running away, so you're assuming the game has something to do with adventure, escaping. The text is right there that says giraffe adventure. So you sort of, with all these visual cues,
Yep.
I think you get a sense of what the game is going to be,
Yep.
which is really nice. I think it's very well done. Like, I really like the expression on the giraffe,
Yeah.
where it's like he's like dazing off into the sunset, so he's like, oh, I'm finally free to enjoy my own adventure.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of good
So
elements there.
he's also happily wide-eyed there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I'm not sure what to do with the screen. Does it just automatically
It's
fade into the next thing?
Yeah.
I kind of like how I don't know if that was on purpose, but the trees are angry too on the side. On the right side.
Angry trees.
That's
That's in your mind.
No, there's an angry face there.
Yeah, I know this one.
It's on. Right there.
Right, yeah.
Oh my God, you're right. I see that.
I don't see it.
Oh, let me-
I think that looks like a chest with a six-pack to me.
It's like a Memphis.
To Tim, it looks like a bottle of wine. Okay, so but Tim asked the question. No? So what? So okay, I see the screen. Then what? I'm going to start clicking on things.
We need a start screen.
I mean, just help it to start.
Or just tap it.
Yeah, it's.
Just tap it and you go and you're in the game.
And the menu screen. This is not our menu.
We have a menu.
Oh, you have a menu. So this is what is this? The sort of the initial screen.
It's like, I'd like to see a couple of buttons there on the left or something that are basically start game options or something.
Oh, you can put it in your picture.
I think it's such a beautiful
Like
picture.
our menu, just like scroll, kind of thing, like an Angry Bird kind of style.
Like a transparent screen on the left, something like
Yeah,
that.
some kind of transparent, you
Yeah,
pull it
I think
over,
that'd be
that way
very
you don't
nice.
get out of the way of the picture, you know, we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, but there's another game I saw where the buttons are actually all in the same kind of visual language. It's kind of a cartoony button, but it says, start game instead of like a conventional button. You can think about that too. Okay, so then you click it, and then you're here. Right? I assume.
You play it, just press
Maybe help me
play.
by it.
Press play game, yeah.
Press play game, and then you're here. Okay, so what do we think about, so let's see here. So we got giraffe, people, helicopter, city in the background, trees, dude reading a newspaper.
It's like a bad idea.
Oh,
And
Zookeepers.
anything.
It's just an innocent bystander in the park, you know.
That look like he's doing.
That's what you kind of funny.
Yeah, you have to avoid the innocent bystander, or look for them.
and so, and this,
Pretty sure.
Eat them for energy.
Or like they're so far in the foreground that they don't have to get back to you.
okay, so I'm looking at this, is the helicopter's rotor spinning?
Yes, it will be.
And is, let me ask you this way, what else is moving when I first look at the screen?
All of the tank, the enemies.
Describe how they move, what direction, so.
Okay. The giraffe will be running.
In
and
place.
Will be running along.
Yeah.
In animation.
Yeah.
And all the enemies will be coming from the right of the screen and then coming to the left.
Uh-huh.
And as you can tell, there are nets and more nets and more nets, which you have to avoid.
I don't see the net, sorry, what's the net?
People.
Keeps floating in air.
There's the people in the front.
Yeah.
Who have that little net.
Oh, I see, got it, and
You
they're,
gotta jump over it.
I
Yeah,
see,
jump over it. There's the net coming from the tank, which is
Oh,
right above that.
yeah,
Yep.
and net in the tree?
How's he gonna escape that trap?
Huh?
He's dead right here. There's two nets and a helicopter coming.
You can do a neck smash.
Actually,
Jump up with
he'll
the
be able to
helicopter.
jump up. If you time it right, you'll be able to jump up and whack the helicopter down into the tank and then run away safely.
Wait, but the net still hits him. That's all.
Well, no, he jumped,
Yeah.
as he's jumping, the net passes underneath.
It's still, and it's showing a lot more than the.
It's like, we just cluttered everything on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to get as many images. Like,
Okay, so I'm looking at this thing, and these things are moving towards me, and then it's up to me to sort of just start touching things to see if anything moves, is that basically
There will
the?
be a help menu
Uh-huh,
to explain all this. Otherwise, we can have a tutorial in game, which will
yeah,
help as well.
The first level will give you the tutorial for the most part.
Yeah.
You're thinking instead of how to play screen, you can just do that.
and really, in the game, I'm just trying to clarify that the actions I have are pulling the neck, pulling it this way,
Well, we actually redid our.
Just this way,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's a lot more. Yeah, we pretty much redid everything.
say what?
We made a few changes.
It's okay, it's okay, from this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, no, not from that.
No,
From what
we
our
just,
original
we initially
plan
thought
The view is the same.
we're going to extend the neck, but now it's not going to extend.
oh no, that's okay, yeah, so just give me give us a word explanation of just the motions or the affordances of the neck, of anything on here.
So you click on the neck. And then
Click,
you,
I don't have a mouse.
Yeah, you click on the neck.
Touch.
And then you pull it back. And then, so, yep, and then when you release, the neck will go forward.
Okay,
But not, it won't extend.
it won't extend, okay. So this is kind of like an Angry Birds kind of a
It gets
catapult.
taken half.
And like a
Animation.
slight elongation, just.
Slight,
Yeah,
yeah, very slight difference.
You know, might be easier if you, when it's on the ground, if you touch it, it jumps, and then when it's in the air and you touch it, it flangs. Cause I don't know if
We
it's
were
really
thinking of a
fast.
jump button, we were thinking,
What's
we were
that?
considering a jump button.
A jump button at the bottom.
No.
Two buttons.
I don't like that.
No buttons. So how do you make a jump, actually?
Oh,
So,
you click on the body of the giraffe.
okay, so current conception is I can touch this,
Yep.
and he'll jump, and I can do this, and he'll, like that.
Oh yeah, then just.
Then how does he actually reach the helicopter? The
You
helicopter?
jump and then you.
Oh, and the helicopter's gotta be in the right area.
Yep.
Got it.
Quick question, how do you, like, what's the command for jumping?
You just tap on the body.
Yeah.
And then, how does, anything else you can do with touching the touchscreen?
Well,
We have apples.
yeah, we're gonna
We'll
have
get to that.
apples.
And a sword? No. Apples? And what, apples?
Apples.
Okay, what, explain more.
Because apples and apples, you can hold a pick up the apples, you can shoot the apple at the enemies by clicking anywhere on the screen, the apple will get shot.
Like spit out.
Oh, he'll spit
So
the
you-
apple?
Touch the apple and then touch the tank? Is that what you're saying? Touch the apple, touch the tank?
Yeah.
Something like
No,
that?
the giraffe will eat the apple automatically if it's in range. And then
So you, again, there you're throwing it towards the
basically,
giraffe.
I think like we'll have like a little spot where it says apples and you click on that.
Yeah.
And then click on the location it's gonna shoot.
Okay.
So I mean, you touch the helicopter and it'll spit the apple
Well,
helicopter?
you may have to shoot a little bit at the front of the helicopter, so the helicopter goes into the.
Nice, nice.
Oh, I see, you touch somewhere and
Yeah.
It just
That
shoots
doesn't
it.
work.
it's gonna shoot to that
Yeah.
place. Oh, yeah, okay.
So as a user of an Android, I'm gonna try pinching. Is anything gonna react if I try? What happens if I touch somewhere that's not a good, that does not actually have a command? Does any reaction happen or it's just quiet?
Not a,
And pinching doesn't do anything?
No.
So how does this game get interesting? How does it not get boring right away?
It will start easy.
Yeah.
And increase the flow.
So you get more, but they don't do anything new, they just come faster. That's the only.
There are bosses.
Say what?
There's gonna be different types, more enemies on screen,
Yeah.
different types of enemies.
Yeah.
With different levels, and if we get to it, which I hope we will, we'll have boss battles.
You'll have what battles?
Boss
Battles.
What's a boss battle?
When you reach to an end of the screen of a stage, usually the main villain comes out,
Uh-huh.
or one of his associates,
Yeah.
and you'll have to defeat them by doing.
By like flinging apples at them or shooting a projectile.
I see.
To have you damage them.
So it's a more difficult stage of the game, and it's the zookeeper here for the first time.
Figure out how to best defeat the enemy.
And when is the game over?
Game's over, he just goes on to the next level.
No, but when? What determines the ending of the game?
There's 5 levels, right?
Do you mean like how does giraffe?
Yeah. Well, how do I win? How do I win a level?
You win a level by advancing to the end of the stage successfully.
And the end is defined as time?
No, the end is defined as like you go through like
Apple?
Certain number of
How many
obstacles.
obstacles?
I see. So you got all the tanks, and
Yeah,
you wipe them all out. It's over. Boom, you won the level. Got it.
Good question. Like I've played several games of this type. Like say, has anybody here played Standscapes?
no.
Alright, so what happens is that you're proceeding forward, you're in the same place and everything else is coming towards you, and you jump over obstacles. There's one way to go by where every single time you play the same level, they come in the exact same fashion. And there's another one where it's an obstacle count, but they come in a random sort of summon, so it's still not predictable if you replay the game.
Mhm, That's a good
We
idea.
thought about that. We thought about having randomly generated enemies at a certain point, but as is now, we can pick where enemies are on a screen. So if we really wanted to, we could have a mode where we could pick them at random.
There's also a slight randomness in their speed. They appear, they don't always travel the same speed.
Yeah, a slight randomness in speed and a slight randomness in what they do. Sometimes they'll fire, sometimes they won't, and then you'll have to.
Is anything moving on the screen other than enemies and the giraffe?
On the background.
Oh, the background, yes. But it's just in terms of, it's just scrolling by, but there's nothing happening in the background or elsewhere. It's just moving. There's no trees swaying or birds flying or anything like that.
So do they get more power does the giraffe have more power or, more powerful apples or something in the higher levels?
We considered having different types of fruits, like maybe you shot a pineapple and create like an explosion or something.
Do giraffes eat fruits? I thought they were just vegetables.
That's why it's spits it out.
That's why it's spits it out.
I think we actually have somebody in the room that knows something about giraffes.
I know their tongue's blue.
Also, giraffes probably eat fruits because they eat from trees.
Pardon?
They probably eat fruits and leaves.
That's why they have the long neck, right?
Yeah, yeah. They wouldn't really dig down under for vegetables.
There,
Well, what music, is there any sound?
Yeah.
So what are the sound effects? Is there a constant music track or does it change
We
based
have
on
change every level.
every level different
Yeah.
soundtrack?
there's like levels of like escaping the park, the streets of New York,
Yeah.
the harbor.
Oh, we have
The
Chinatown.
boat.
Chinatown.
Oh, excellent, yeah.
I think we might have tried
The
it.
Oriental theme sounds.
So you could do a Boston version too.
Yeah, that could be an expansion pack.
North End.
Expansion pack.
In Boston.
Or you can make individual city ones themselves.
Help your
Yeah,
fellow
yeah.
giraffes. You go all over the
Yeah,
streets.
yeah. The
Cool.
vegetables that he's going around the zoos and setting
So
them free.
You can do
10
product
years
placement.
later.
Yeah!
You know, you can go buy McDonald's.
Excellent.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Actually, one of the very oldest video games, Lunar Lander, in its original conception at MIT on a round CRT screen, like in the 60s, you had to land a spacecraft on the moon. If you hit the right spot exactly, a little guy would come out and run over to McDonald's and buy a hamburger. True story.
Actually, Jim Storer built the original Winterland
Yeah.
High School.
Yeah.
That's one of his claims to fame.
Okay, yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So, a couple questions regarding the name, Giraffe Adventure. First of all, what do you like that on top image that Giraffe Adventure is kind of like on the path?
Yeah.
Second of all, we just thought of this different name, or do you like the name Giraffe Adventure? Thought of a different name, just like G Raff, just like G dash Raff, Bash, Giraffe Bash.
I think Giraffe, I actually like that better.
I like giraffe because it's simple and
Giraffe.
short.
Just
It'll
call it
fit on the
giraffe.
screen.
Giraffe, just Giraffe.
And if you see the picture of the giraffe, you're immediately gonna know what giraffe means. And it makes it your own.
In the typeface, it could be like giraffe.
Giraffe.
I like Giraffe Adventure because you guys have marketed it so well to begin with. Like I've seen people so passionate about Giraffe Adventure that it works well. So if you can get your game around everybody likes it, I think Giraffe Adventure is a good way to go.
I thought, I had an idea when I first saw that he's really escaping, so it's like a giraffe escape, but with more, for example, coming back to save other giraffes of other zoos, that then becomes an adventure, essentially.
What makes a good name for something like this? What are some of the considerations?
Well, it's not like adventure, he's a giraffe, so it's like the same thing.
So you say it's a good name because it picks up on a phrase that people are
Yeah.
that maybe familiar with.
Yeah.
What makes a good
I
name?
think good names are usually shorter and catchy. Like I'm not even a big fan of like Happy Sad. I think if we come up with something more, I don't know.
I disagree with
Nah,
you
that's-
personally.
But like, I really like the shortening it to just giraffe. I don't know what you put after that, but I really like it.
Joseph.
I like something like Giraffe Escape, maybe.
Yeah.
What makes a good name in your mind, other than you like it? Can you think of some
Well-
considerations?
That it definitely that describes some like needs to describe the game somehow, but short. I think short and descriptive at this.
You think that's true for a game? The same it would be true for Google Docs, or is it different for a game? The name you would give a game.
And what are the 10 best games? What are their names?
I mean, Angry Birds is 2 words. Like,
Angry Birds, yeah.
There's a game
There's
called
a
Cyber
consideration
Wars
of how it
for all the
fits
team,
on-
and that's
Think-
really
think-
long.
Wait, let's not talk over each other. Go ahead.
There's a consideration of how it fits, the text fits on the icon, for example, that's
Yeah,
very much
yeah.
and also in the market.
Right?
How
Too long.
how that long name is
Yeah.
displayed.
Yeah.
But as a logo there, it's, I find it okay to have a certain name, but still have the Giraffe Adventure logo somehow on, when you look at the logo again.
Yeah, true. Any other? What make? I mean, I think so. Often people will refer to will not see the game and just have the name. But take a game like Angry Birds. I mean, until the first person saw it, until you saw it for the first time, it's a funny name, but it doesn't tell you anything. Do you think that helped or harmed Angry Birds, or it was kind of unimportant?
I don't get it why they have to do the slingshot, because they supposed to win.
So like
Well, I think the name,
Yeah. So
the name has some kind of cognitive dissonance. You don't think of birds
Yeah.
in Angry
and that makes it funny, right? I
And
think.
it catches
Yeah.
in your
Right.
head.
Right. Yeah.
Like, when you see a sparrow, man.
You see, that's what I was trying to say was,
Sorry, Hal.
like, I like Angry Birds. I mean, I think the reason why the name really took is because birds aren't considered to be angry.
Yes, exactly. There's a little cognitive dissonance in there.
The giraffes, you don't really think about adventure.
Right.
I've never lived in New York, it's probably Angry Birds.
Yeah, I agree that the dissonance and the funniness. This is kind of a funny game, so I think something that's a little fun. I mean, what is the reason? You said shortness. What is the reason for going from giraffe to G-Raff? Yes.
Other than shortness, it's also like not cutesy, but it's hip.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something like it grabs your attention.
It's trademarkable too.
Yeah, it's original.
Trademarkable.
Original.
You can't trademark giraffe. Well, I think you could.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Much easier to trademark giraffe. Or even if you got rid of the dash, it was just giraffe. I mean, you're gonna know what it is when you see the picture.
Okay, so this is something that you can play with and test as we go forward. So I think, any other thoughts about these screens? So if there aren't, what I would like you guys to do is to keep refining these, because remember, it's so much easier to make changes on paper or in Photoshop than it is in the code. Keep refining it, it's worth it. Because I'll tell you, you'll find yourself digging yourself into the God knows where of animation or Android activity layouts and get lost, and then realize that when you finally get it to work, nobody likes the way it looks anyway. And so take the time to make a nice looking drawing, and let's have a session like this maybe next week again to see what progress has been made.
Great. That's awesome.
Okay, so can you help me turn this thing on? And can I borrow the paper prototype of the fashion app? I hope somebody brought it. The cards. Violetta, you have it?
Oh, no, that's me.
Okay, because I
just updated it.
cool, that's great. So because this was so good but took a lot of time, we're going to add another UI lecture tomorrow. So I'm just going to jump to a part of a module of this that we can actually do right now.
I actually did something without consulting the team, and that I wanted to ask beforehand, but
That's okay. No, because we're not going to critique this. We're going to show how to do a usability test.
okay.
Okay.
How do I turn the lights on here?
Yeah, I do.
So basically, a usability test is what it sounds like. You have
Yeah, that sounds
it could be
right.
usability, it could be aesthetics, it could be plays, testing, whatever.
Ooh.
But the idea is, you're trying to just show the first card. You're going to be the computer. So the idea is, how do you get objective feedback from somebody about an app, especially when you don't have it ready yet? Okay, and it's pretty straightforward. But there are some concepts or some ideas to think about. First of all, you decide before you start on a task what you want the person that you're testing to do. Is it to log in? Is it to, shoot down a helicopter? What is it? Okay? And think a little bit, if it applies to your application, what kind of user. I mean, in this case, probably in all three products. Well, in the fashion app, it may be male versus female. It could be, very trendy person versus somebody who doesn't care about fashion, whatever it is. But think about the type of user you're thinking about, and sort of have a hypothesis in mind. And then think about what knowledge or assumptions you want them to have when they come to it. In other words, is this the first time they've ever seen your app? Have they used apps like it in the past? But keep those things in mind, because that's going to help you know how to interpret what you hear from the user. It's important. The second thing is, how do you run the test? Now, if you go to big companies, even today, maybe not anymore, but 10 years ago, EMC, Lotus, and so on, they would have these very elaborate, very expensive usability test labs with one-way mirrors, or whatever they call those things, with videos and people taking notes. And it was very, very expensive to run the usability test, and you had to pay a lot of money. It was a big problem. And that was before people thought of or started using paper prototypes. You don't need any of that. In fact, that's a detriment. What you need is a very portable way to ask questions of somebody. And then, when you run the test, it's very important for you to make sure that the test subject does not ever feel like they made a mistake. They should never be apologizing. You should emphasize to them that whenever they're confused, it's your fault. If there's a problem, it's the software, it's the design, it's not the user. Because people get apologetic and defensive, and then they stop actually giving you good feedback. So always emphasize to them, wow, that's really confusing, we need to fix that, versus they go like, oh, I'm so stupid, I didn't realize that. No, you're not stupid, the app is bad. Just be very hardcore about that. And then try to get them to express their thoughts in words. Try to get them to say, you asked me to to knock down a helicopter, so I'm looking at the screen, and what I'm trying to figure out is, what are my weapons? And I'm looking and I can't figure it out. And you let them struggle for a while, articulate. Okay, I see now that this neck moves when I touch it. I wonder if there's a way to use that to knock down a helicopter. But it doesn't reach. And if they get stuck, then you might give them a hint. But try to give them a hint that's very minimal. And by listening to what they're doing, you're going to discover what problems they have. And often, depending on your app, you can make corrections on the spot and say, what if we move this button from the top to the bottom? Would that help? Yes. And you modify the paper prototype on the spot if you want to, and use it for the next one. So make sure they know that they're not making mistakes. It's the software that's bad. Try to get them to express their thoughts and the thing that they're looking for in words so you can hear it, because you'd be surprised why they're stuck sometimes. And even if they don't get stuck, you will get information from their articulating their thoughts. And they may be a little bit uncomfortable at first. You might demonstrate it to say what you're looking for, and then make notes. Definitely make notes because you'll forget what happened. Maybe you have somebody else with you, but keep it small. You don't really need more than 5 or 10 at most. I would say 5 to get enough feedback to make a change and try it again. And that's why I keep hammering on the idea of do the testing on paper or on a mock-up, because it's so, not only is it easier to make changes, but if you didn't spend the last 24 hours straight trying to get it to work, then you're not going to be quite as upset about having to move the button. Because if you just couldn't get the layout to work because you were trying to get the button on top, it just wouldn't go, just wouldn't go, just wouldn't go, and somebody says they want the button at the bottom, you may not listen to it as much because you're so committed to that button on the top. So with that, Jackie's going to be the computer, and I'm going to select. Who? Well, we would, but we don't have the time. Are you volunteering?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, come on over. So I'm going to. Jackie will be the computer. You're going to be the hi. Thanks for looking at our app. We have this app. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Just look at it and see if you can get it to work, and tell us what you're thinking as you look at it. What your thoughts are and what you're looking for. Go.
Okay. I come over here and look at the screen.
Just pretend it. I'm going to say stuff here. Pretend it's a computer. Touch it where you would touch it. Pretend it's an Android. Touch it where you would touch it, and the screen will change. You may want to say what you expect to happen, and then when it happens, whether what happens surprises you or makes sense to you. Go.
Well, if I just got this app, I'd probably be kind of excited about it. I like the logo. I kind of like how it's votable. And if I liked it and downloaded it, I would probably immediately go and make a login because I have no problem with making a login. So that'd be my first thing.
We don't have that screen
Okay. Well, I'd come here and it'd say, all right, JW done, go.
What would it do?
Oh.
Jackie, what would it do when he did that?
when you press go?
Yeah.
Or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no, well, either one. When he pressed go. Actually, it would say, no, it wouldn't do that. It would say, you don't have an account.
Oh, right. Well, no, we're gonna have it, so,
So he
This
goes,
is a
when he
little-
pressed go. Okay, what happens?
well, if you put, hopefully knock on wood, if you put your Gmail account in, then it would go through.
When you said blah, 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 were you putting your Gmail account in?
I was just making it JW done. and
Okay.
Password.
So we don't have that. That's confusing, and we'll fix that.
Okay.
That's actually that's an interesting idea though.
Mhm.
If you don't have an account, you just makes one.
Right.
Now you have an account.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
the Android, we were thinking that the Android knows if you're logged in or not, because it's a Google device. And all we're gonna do is have it say, you're not logged in, and then take you to the standard Android login screen. And make the Google login be your login. I think that's a way,
That'd be very smart.
right? I mean, the Android, the only flaw, if any, is that you need to have a Gmail account or a Google account. But if you're using Android, the chances are really good if you have one.
Well, you need one to
Sound
get
like
it
you.
from the.
Yeah, really good.
You need one to get it from the marketplace, right?
Yeah, you need a Gmail account.
Yeah, you
to
need
do
it. So
anything.
So we can just ask the Android, is this guy logged in? If not, take you to the standard activity, which is an intent to log you in.
But then how does that go with, does the data go to Google? Like who
No,
owns the data?
no, we're just using that as your login. But that's a good point. We would want to put a thing on the screen that says, by the way, this data is not being shared with Google, because you might make that assumption.
Mhm.
Right.
We're simply using it to get a string of text that is you, and that's your Gmail account.
Gotcha.
There was a hand, I thought. Oh, is it already gone? Yes.
I think it's very simple just how it registers button, because then you just have one more screen to username, new password confirm.
Yep.
Okay. We can just do the same screen.
Or just replace username with Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
And you could say, maybe you could say login with Google account at the bottom.
Mhm. Yep, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's also a way for us to avoid some work, by the way. Other teams might want to steal that too, because, then you have to worry about managing passwords and re-registering
Write that
and
in my
changing
notebook.
and all that stuff, because it's all taken care of.
Rewrite that in my notebook.
Okay, so he clicks go. Let's
Okay.
assume that he did have a proper account.
This is what I
Or
think.
Facebook is actually nice too, Facebook login.
There you go.
Okay. Tom, what are you looking at? What do you think? What do you want to do?
Well, I like it. I think it's a lot though. I'm kind of like, oh, okay, well, I just signed up for this app and now I have to check all these things. So maybe I'll come in here, select, and I'll just go, sure, clothes, shoes, and sports. Sure.
What do you think would happen?
Well,
Yeah, what if I just click go if I didn't want to deal with any of this? Does it just go
it will
random?
go random.
then
Okay.
that's probably what I do.
Do you
Because
think that there should be, this person
We can
information
have
on
more
there?
information.
maybe just say like,
This is what I did, I took out a screen right here, and that, I wasn't sure if that would be confusing or not.
Yeah, by the way,
'cause-
we're not testing this
Yeah.
design right now, we're just
Right.
showing how to do a test, just so
Right.
everybody.
because right now, if I was personally using this,
Mhm.
I'm not in a mindset where I'm actually shopping for something.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if I'm looking for clothes or shoes, so I'd probably just hit go and go for
Yeah.
random.
Right. So from a graphic design point of view, I would think about making the go button much
Bigger.
bigger and have the checkbox much
Yeah,
smaller.
we had another thing before this that was kind of like another screen that I just wanted to take out another screen
Yep.
because it was too many screens.
Yep.
And that was just kind of like browse random or our categories are random or something like that, and that's
Uh-huh.
what I just threw out. Not threw out. I put in my bag.
So you did go.
So
What about, with Pandora, how does that work?
You can listen
For
or
your
you can log in.
station,
yeah.
right? And then you say
That's-
what you
yeah.
want, and it uses whatever you're looking for.
Yeah, we can look
You wanna
that
pull
up.
down the phone so it's silver cut off on the top.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need the phone there.
Well,
I guess
if
you
he
do it
wants
for
to
the
press
back buttons, that's a
and
good
the
point.
setting button.
Yeah.
Alright, so I like
Joseph's question?
Yeah, there's not an option to click on men or women products.
Oh, so what that is I don't have a way to show that right now, but in your dashboard, you're gonna have two apps when you download, two start screens, which basically mean there's a Vogable men and a Vogable women, and it's automatically both downloaded when you get your app.
so there'll be
They're
two icons.
There are two icons, two starting intents.
Cool.
Can you use it to shop for your wife?
Yeah,
So then you would.
yeah, you click the woman one instead of the
Would you
men
need
one.
a separate account?
Nope,
No.
same
That's a
account.
good excuse if you want to cross dress.
We captured that too. Okay, continue.
Okay.
What are
Well,
you thinking and what do you want to try?
well, I'd come on here. I look at the shirt, and I'd say that's pretty bland. I'd probably be too lazy to say I don't like this, so I'd probably just click next.
So there's another shirt there.
There's another shirt, and that one's like really cool. I say, gee, I really kind of like that. Maybe I could figure out. Maybe it has like a cool icon or something I like.
Yeah.
Then I'd probably say I like it. And then
And hold on. So it says name liked, it's the name of the item, and it also says toast there, so you know that it just goes.
it says, wait, what does it say?
It says the name, so say shirt liked, and then
It disappears.
it goes.
Is
away.
there a way?
It just says, it's like pops up, fades away.
Yeah, it's a toast.
Is there a way if I hit liked, it could say like when it said liked, you could just like say add to wish list there?
Yeah,
So is
I was
I-
thinking about that.
Oh, that's a
Or
good point.
Because
I
maybe if you
have
just
that.
clicked it, it would immediately. Or
if you actually look at my scribbles down there,
Dislike
it
is-
says
I thought it was a
buy
picture of
and
a
wish
toast.
list. No, that my scribble there is a scribble over buy and wish list. So I was like, oh, but then what do I do with dislike? Is that kind of uneven?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not a toast, so then you're gonna need to do an X. But like, I think I like that. I think that's a great idea.
Curious, Sarah?
Yeah.
I know I'm not the test, this is the question. If I like an item, does this mean, and like, if I, like, and I don't wanna like it anymore, does that mean I have to dislike it?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
but it,
No, you can just.
You can just
you
go
can
next.
scroll. Wait. What do
No,
you say?
I
No,
liked
he
an
wants.
item.
He liked an item, but he wants to
you
not
change
like
your
it
mind?
anymore.
Yeah, but I don't wanna like it, does that mean I have to dislike it?
no, you could just.
Oh, no. So you see this item, you don't want to like it, but you don't want to dislike it.
No, that's not, I went and liked it.
You
But I
clicked the
looked
button.
and
You
like,
changed your
wait,
mind.
Why did I look
Oh,
at
yeah,
that?
yeah.
I don't like that, I
You-
don't dislike it, but I definitely don't like
Well,
it.
let me ask you, what would you expect to do that? If you were the user, how would you expect to cancel that like?
I would expect to cancel by hitting like again.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
then I'm like, wait, does that mean I can both like and dislike at the same time? Because then they're two separately functioning buttons.
He's a good, I see what he's saying now, he's kind of.
I would assume you'd go into like your history, kind of like in eBay things I'm watching,
Mhm.
and then you just click remove.
We thought about that, but then it's like
Or you can
200
change the
something.
like button to be something.
After you like
a
it
little
being
dash or
like
something.
an undo.
An undo.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe when it came up and said wish list or undo.
Yeah.
Or it could be
No, just
highlighted.
immediately after.
It could be highlighted, and then highlighting your toggle.
Mhm.
it would unlike.
Yeah, that's a great idea. If you highlight one, the other one is just dysfunctional.
But I think the toast just disappearing is nice, because you sort
Yeah.
of stay in the flow of just looking at pictures.
That's why I also took off the buy or wish list on this toast.
Yep.
So
Okay, so go on.
So
what do you want to do and you can't find a button for? Is there anything else you want to do, or you've done that?
I went through, looked at my stuff. Sure, I want to go to the wish list. But that
Wait, oh no, wish list goes to, where is it?
Was that go to wish list or is that add to wish list?
That's add to wish list. I forgot writing stuff. So that says add to wish list and go to wish list.
So
But what if
that's
I didn't
what
like this? What if I wanted to go back? Because
Where would you
I
go?
didn't want to add this shirt to my
No,
wish
just
list.
click where you
Oh.
think that you would click and let's see what happens.
Go to wish list.
There's next.
We should have remove buttons on here. That's
Cool.
a good point.
I don't want this $300 one. That's too expensive. Should remove.
For
And I really like this cheap one. This $100 t-shirt. So I'm gonna get that one.
that brings up the browser to the web page.
No,
of
but wait,
that.
but that list was things that you put on the wish list yourself, right?
Right.
That's what you were thinking, okay.
Right.
There's a good idea to have like an X there.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Like a faded X,
Mhm.
Yep.
not very noticeable.
Or like a trash can.
This was that shirt that I was really excited about.
That's the shirt you're really excited
Yeah, that
about.
had the cool logo or something.
Yeah. Well, that'll bring you to the website and you can buy it online.
Yes.
Okay.
And that takes
Cool.
you to Amazon then?
Yeah, to Amazon or Zappos or Etsy. All three we're
Those are the
discussing.
we're trying to-
Wait, what about pricing? Pricing?
How does it figure it out?
Yeah.
We're using a web service.
We get it from the feed.
Yeah.
Oh, do they have feeds? I mean,
They all three have feeds.
Yeah.
We're currently doing battle with feeds to try to see dominate them. Right now, we're there.
Cool.
Nice. Are there any search settings?
What's
What if
what's the button you're looking for? And where would
I'd be looking for like maybe a settings button
Uh-huh.
or the way to get back to what I'm specifically looking for now. Because
Yeah.
now that I found something that I want, maybe I want something to go with it.
Yeah, okay, so what would
So-
you do to do that?
I feel like here on the wish list, I'd wish there was like a button that said like change what I'm looking for or yeah.
So that pops up. Here's my question.
Is that for
Android
the settings
users, would you know? Yeah, the settings
Yeah,
button
that's what I
here.
go. Yep.
Would you, I mean,
Would
Android
people
users
go
in the
there?
room, are you now habituated to hitting settings and hitting?
That's
play?
what I would have hit.
I do that. And I wasn't sure if I was the only one. All right,
So
cool.
it's a bad idea to have an actual settings button or an actual go
It
back
seems an
button.
efficient allocation of the space.
Right, I mean, so you looked at an app that had that, you would go like, this is a bad app. Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Can I switch to the female one? Oh, sorry.
You wanna change gender? What?
I wanna
Then you
get
have to
some
go back
swimwear.
to your. Okay. Is that it? Do you want to play more?
No, I think that's really good. That's well done.
Cool.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Very good. Thank
Well
you.
done. Good job performing. So that's why you guys should all have paper prototypes like this, so you can take it to your roommates or whoever else and test it. And I'll promise you, you're gonna learn stuff well before you spend all the energy coding. So we're gonna follow up on that next week, look at paper prototypes again, and look at the comps, and do more of this next week. And I think we're done. After lunch, we're gonna have an hour workshop on networking with people, getting jobs, resumes, emails, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Okay, so that's 1 o'clock. So thank you very much.
And
See you
then
after
2
lunch.
hours of working on the project.
Yeah,
Should we,
great.
should we print out our resume over break?
sure. If you have one, sure. I'll talk about LinkedIn and all that stuff.
Awesome.
And if it's, we'll do it again. This is just a, what?
Like,
This isn't only JBS, this is a life workshop.
Tomorrow we're talking about relationships.
We're a full service course.
JBS should definitely
How
talk
many
to our
relationships?
executives.